Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. As you'll notice, this is not Terry True Crime. No, unfortunately, Terry couldn't be here today, so I will be filling in for her. I'm Llama. Some of you may know me from some of our other shows. If you don't, hello, hello, I'm Llama. And welcome to Midday Missing, where we highlight current missing persons cases that need more attention. Now, we do live shows every Monday and Wednesday at noon central, though it's been kind of flexing back and forth because of my show, which we'll get to in just a second. Now, if you love true crime and you're local to Ohio or ready for a road trip, don't miss this. Join me and my partner in crime, Terry True Crime, for a special live event. We'll be at the Blend of Seven Winery in Marion, Ohio on Saturday, July 19th, diving into the still unsolved case of Joey LaBute, a Columbus, Ohio man whose mysterious death has haunted the true crime community for years. It's a very important case to me. Now, there will be wine, storytelling, audience Q&A, and a chance to connect with your fellow true crime fans face to face. That's right. A bunch of us are going to be there, myself included. And tickets are on sale now. So please get those while you can. It is a smaller venue. We've already sold quite a few, and I look forward to meeting all of you. Now, why we're here, the reason why we're here today. So for this first case, we're going to talk about Brandon Swanson. Now, on the night of May 14th, 2008, 19-year-old Brandon Victor Swanson vanished without a trace near Marshall, Minnesota. What began as a typical evening celebrating the end of the semester with friends has become one of Minnesota's most perplexing and heartbreaking unsolved missing person cases. Oh, look at that. What a cutie he was. Is very, very nice guy. Brandon was a bright and independent young man from Marshall, where he lived with his parents, Brian and Annette Swanson. He had just completed his first year at Minnesota West Community and Technical College in Canby and was studying wind turbine technology. Friends and family described him as responsible, intelligent, and very level-headed. That night, Brandon's evening began in the nearby town of Lind, about 7 miles southwest of his home in Marshall. Now, after leaving a party early, he headed north to Canby. This was a route he had driven every day to college, but he decided to take back roads because he had been drinking. Not good to drink and drive, kids, but it happens. Although his friends have stated they did not believe he was overly intoxicated. Now, around midnight, he left to drive home to Marshall, a 30-mile trip that he had taken. The highway would have been about 30 or 40 minutes. However, shortly before 2 a.m. on May 14th, Brandon accidentally drove his Chevy Lumina into a ditch on a gravel road. Oh. Unable to get the car out, Brandon called his parents around 1:54 a.m., telling them he was not injured but needed help. He believed he was near Lind, a small town about 7 miles from Marshall, and his parents drove out to look for him, maintaining phone contact with him for nearly 47 minutes as they tried to find him. Brandon kept flashing his car's lights, but neither he nor his parents could see each other. Oh my, this is interesting. Eventually, Brandon said he would leave his car and walk toward lights he believed were coming from Lind. Oh, as he walked, he remained on the phone with his father until suddenly Brandon exclaimed, "Oh shit," and the line went dead. Oh my goodness. His father immediately tried calling him back repeatedly, but no one got an answer. Oh, that is just horrible for his parents to have heard that themselves. Oh my goodness. That was the last time anyone heard from him. His parents continued looking for him until the morning when they were able to report him missing to the police. The police were initially dismissive, saying teenage boys go missing all the time. Oh, of course they do. And Brandon is an adult and has a right to be missing if he wants to be. Ugh, the usual. The usual. After hours of pleading with officers, they were able to track his phone, and eventually the car was found. Not near Lind, but near Calton, about 25 miles from where Brandon thought he was. This discrepancy has puzzled investigators and suggests he may have been disoriented or confused about his exact location. Now, in the next few days, search efforts followed, including ground, air, and canine units, along with volunteer foot searches. Dogs tracked his scent from the car along a gravel road, through fields, and to the edge of the Yellow Medicine River, where it was lost. At one point, cadaver dogs alerted in the area, but no remains were found. Now, over the years, investigators have continued to revisit this case. Brandon's family pushed for change, successfully advocating for Brandon's Law, which was signed in 2009. The law will require law enforcement to take a missing persons report without delay after notification of someone missing under dangerous circumstances, no matter the missing person's age, and immediately conduct a preliminary investigation to determine if the person is missing and whether the person is endangered, and promptly notify all other law enforcement agencies of the situation. It is wild of me that there needed to be a passed law to make this happen. That's crazy. It clarifies that the agency taking the report be the lead agency in the investigation, and that law enforcement will be required to seek additional information, including DNA samples, dental records, x-rays, photographs, and fingerprints if the missing person is not found within 30 days. To this day, Brandon Swanson has never been found. His case remains open and is considered active. There have been no confirmed sightings, no usage of his bank accounts or phone, and no physical remains have ever surfaced. Now, if you have any information, please contact. Look at that kid, man. He's just a kid. That's hard. If you have any information, please contact the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office at 507-694-1664. Any information you may have, even if it's too small, even if you think it's way too small, call it anyway. It could be the big break that Brandon's family needs to get answers. Oh, look at that car. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's tough. Now, if you know of or have a loved one missing yourself and are interested in having their story featured on an upcoming episode and join us for a live interview, please contact Amy, our producer, by emailing amy@tcwtmedia.com or send us a DM on our Facebook page. We've had families come on before, and we are always grateful that they've come on and shared the stories. It's been a privilege to hear them. So please, I promise they will take good care of you if you reach out to them. Now, for the next case is Nevaeh Kingbird. I'm going to do my best at pronouncing some of these, and I mean no disrespect if I pronounce them wrong. I literally just found out I was doing this while I was on my other show, so I have not had time. And again, I mean no disrespect, okay? All right, so Nevaeh Lee Kingbird, was just 15 years old when she vanished into the freezing dark of Bemidji, Minnesota. A vibrant, artistic teen. Oh, she's beautiful. Look at her. Gorgeous. Oh. A vibrant, artistic teen whose life was only just beginning. A member of the Leech Lake Band of the Minnesota Chippewa tribe, fluent in both English and Ojibwe, Nevaeh had dreams that stretched far beyond the borders of her hometown. She planned to go to college in Colorado, And she didn't know what she wanted to study yet, but she knew she wanted to explore the world. Despite her wanderlust, Nevaeh was a homebody at heart. She loved her room, her family, and her siblings, and especially her nephew. She was the third oldest of six and often playfully referred to as the boss of everybody, even her mom, according to her mother, Teddy Wind. She was creative and deeply rooted in her Ojibwe identity. She painted, drew with pastels, and wrote poetry, expressing a sensitive side that contrasted with her sometimes sassy and commanding presence. But 2021 had been a hard year. Two of Nevaeh's friends had died by suicide. Oh, that's horrible. One in April and another just a week before she disappeared. She was grieving, and she was also managing bipolar disorder. She had run off once before for a month, but had always stayed in touch with her family. This time was different. The night of October 21st, Nevaeh told her mom that she was going to see a movie with friends. She seemed beyond excited, happy, and full of energy. But instead of the theater, her friends took her to a party. We've all been teenagers. We've been there. By the early morning hours of October 22nd, Nevaeh was seen leaving a home at 1 o'clock a.m. and another an hour later in the Southview Terrace Trailer Park. Witnesses later said she had jumped from a window, hit her head, and laid on the ground before getting up and running off into the night. Oh my goodness. Teddy, the mom, working a shift at a casino, had called Nevaeh to check in. Her daughter answered but was slurring her words, saying she was fine while crying on the phone. Sensing something was wrong, Teddy left work and drove to the house where Nevaeh had been. She was told by people who were inside, but someone tried to block her from getting in. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. My apologies. She was told people were inside, but someone tried to block her from getting in. Alarmed, she called police and waited outside. Uh-oh. Officers arrived and helped Teddy clear out the remaining teens, but Nevaeh and her cousin had already snuck out the back door. Later that morning, between 3:30 and 4 o'clock a.m., a neighbor near Washington Avenue Southwest reported seeing a girl matching Nevaeh's description. She was wearing the clothes Nevaeh had last been seen in, either a black zip-up sweatshirt or a red one with a bull logo, jeans, and black Nike slide sandals with red lettering. 8 hours later, a couple south of the trailer park reported a young woman knocked on their door before vanishing. They later discovered two windows broken on their detached garage, possibly from someone trying to find shelter, and the garage was empty when officers arrived. Nevaeh's family initially reported her as a runaway, but as hours stretched into days without contact, no social media activity, no texts, no calls, they grew increasingly concerned. She was never out of touch this long, said her cousin. Then came a tip, 2 months late. Nevaeh and her friend had apparently gone to another trailer that night and climbed through a window. When the adult in the home knocked, Nevaeh jumped out of the window again. Her phone was found wedged between a bed and the wall, likely dropped as she climbed out. Oh. By the time police learned of this, surveillance footage from the area was already erased. Nevaeh's case wasn't treated as suspicious until weeks after she went missing. Search efforts ramped up in December, and in a swamp near her home, Nevaeh's family found a sweater believed to belong to her grandmother. Police used sonar in the area, but found nothing. Frozen women's jeans and some makeup were also found, but their connection remains unclear. Then came the snow. Oh, that's right, because we're in Minnesota. Oh. It halted ground searches. Still, authorities from multiple agencies, Bemidji Police, the FBI, BIA, Minnesota, BCA, and tribal police pushed on. In April, residents in the Nymore area were asked to check their outbuildings and properties. Anglers were asked to stay alert while fishing. In May 2022, brought a large 500-acre coordinated search across wetlands using dogs and drones and ground teams. In July, cadaver dogs were brought in to assess the hypothermia theory. Then in September, 200 volunteers combed 150 acres in the largest search ever for a missing Indigenous person in Minnesota. Through it all, rumors circulated. One viral post claimed she'd been kidnapped by a man with Louisiana plates. Police later confirmed the story came from an unrelated incident in Oklahoma. Through sickness, snow, and silence, Teddy, her mother, never stopped searching. Even when one of her children came down with COVID days after Nevaeh disappeared and Teddy herself became severely ill, she kept going. She messaged all of Nevaeh's social accounts, and none were opened. Her sister and cousins organized vigils. One held on January 2nd, 2022, gathered 50 people at the Bemidji waterfront beneath the iconic statues of Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox, and a drum group played songs of hope. In May 2023, a walk for missing and murdered Indigenous women, known as MMIW, drew attention to Nevaeh's case. Throughout, they've been supported by advocates in the MMIW movement. As of June 2025, Nevaeh remains missing. She would now be 18 years old. Oh my goodness, she's so young. She is described as 5'4", 120 pounds, with brown hair, with a dyed blonde streak, brown eyes, pierced ears, and scars on her left eyebrow and thigh. She speaks Ojibwe and English. Now, law enforcement maintains her case is open and active, but without answers, her family fears the worst. Hypothermia, injury, foul play all remain possibilities. And still, her name is spoken at gatherings. Her poems are remembered, her laughter recalled. Oh. Her family continues to hope, to search, to fight for justice. I want to know, did they talk to the cousin that she was with? Did I miss that? I don't know. Maybe they're probably not saying for a good reason. Anyway, if you have information, please contact the Bemidji Police Department at 218-333-9111. Nevaeh Lee Kingbird deserves to come home, and her mother, Teddy, deserves answers. Now, I want to thank you all for joining me today. I apologize again. I'm not the lovely Terry. I'm just filling in for her. And so I appreciate you all welcoming me to listening for this specific episode. I look forward to seeing you guys again. I'm sure I'll stop in. Usually I'm in the chat, but now we will have another episode this Wednesday of Midday Missing. I believe that is actually going to be at a different time. It will be at 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Pacific. Now, don't forget, you can also join our Facebook group. That is where we will post all of our missing persons posters, as well as share other missing people's posters. You guys, please share these if you have them. It's free. It costs nothing. And there could be somebody who didn't know where to reach out that may actually know something. Also, follow us on all social media platforms to stay connected and be a part of the conversation. Remember, you can catch all of our shows right here on our YouTube channel and listen to our podcast on your favorite platform. Now, this Thursday, True Crime and Wine Time, now it's airing at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. I do this now with the lovely Lovely, Terry. This week we're covering the case of how did one man burn a city for years? The Thomas Sweat case. And you guys do not want to miss this episode. It is wild, and whatever you think it is, it's not. Oh, thank you, Teresa. Thank you. You guys, until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and help these families bring their loved ones home. And as I always end my show, go forth and be amazing. All right. Thank you guys so much. And you have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.